Oh, sup? How you doing, YouTube? Today we're gonna do a video a little bit different than my normal format. Normally, I usually have a script or notes or something of any sort to help me as I comment and commentate on stuff. But this time we're gonna try something completely freestyle, completely just on the fly. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make as much sense as possible. We'll see how this goes. So last night I saw the movie The Losers. It's a DC movie, but it's not like a superhero movie. Don't know if you've seen it before, but it was apparently hot stuff in 2010. Yeah, so it stars Zoe Saldana, Chris Evans, Idris Elba, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and a bunch of other people I can't name off the fly right now. And overall, it was well. You have to see. I'm gonna go and start with a spoiler warning. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it and I will dissect most parts of it. So just get out right now if you haven't seen it and come back after you've seen it. It's on Netflix right now and it's. I'll leave you with this. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's a good movie. So go watch it and come back. And also remember to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on the movie down below. Or what other movie you'd want me to review on the channel like this. Okay, so let's start with, I guess, we'll just go with the chronology of the movie. I can't remember all of it off the top of my head, but we'll just see. So the beginning of the movie was, I hadn't known anything about the movie going into it, besides it was a DC movie, and I knew about the big twist. So that was kind of spoiled for me. But I didn't know what the movie was about, or any of the details about it. So going into this, the beginning gave me such a weird, vibe, especially compared to the rest of the movie. It starts off with, the main gang as these army soldiers, and they accidentally get these kids killed on a helicopter. And it's not their fault. It's because they've been duped by this guy called Max. This ominous villain called Max. And I really don't like the villain, but we'll get to him later. So apparently this guy had the helicopter of kids that they had just saved nuked, or not nuked, shot down. And yeah, they all feel responsible for it, but so that they don't get in trouble, they all pretend they died in the car crash by throwing their dog tags there. I guess it's a good setup for the movie. But yeah, the sequence feels so out of place, in my opinion. But we'll keep going. We'll come back to this, and the tone of the movie, which I think was really a big problem. After that, it shows them in the city adjusting to their life, and yeah, it's not that interesting for a while. And then we meet Zoe Saldana's character, and she's not part of this gang of losers, at least not initially. And she starts off fighting the main guy. His name's Clay. He's played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan from The Walking Dead. But this was before he was popular and he didn't have abs and all that stuff. And the point is, they get into a fight, and then yeah, I forgot how the fight goes, but I remember the whole building burns down. Pretty stupid, yeah. So after the building burns down, she talks to him and she's like, "I have a proposition. I'll help you kill Max if you help me find him or whatever, stuff like that. So, or I'll help you find Max if you let me kill him." That's the deal they make. So yeah, they go and they try to find Max throughout the movie, or throughout this beginning section of the movie. And I forgot how they do it. This movie, I think the plot is pretty stupid. The plot's not that good. I mean, it's an okay plot, but it gets the job done. But I can't name the plot off my head. It's that bad. It's that stupid and mediocre. But the characters are, I guess, where the movie's good. At least the main characters and the heroes. The villain sucks. We'll get him eventually. Just wait. So yeah, some stuff happened. Some more fights. Some more guns, explosions, all that stuff. And then tensions start to rise between Idris Elba's character and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character. And the tension doesn't make that much sense. It's sort of like Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character doesn't want them to go back to society because they're fugitives. They get in trouble because people think they're responsible for the car crash or the helicopter crash. But Idris Elba's character wants to go back, and it's so stupid. And at the end, it's revealed. Well, I'll get to the spoiler, I guess. At the end, it's revealed that Idris Elba was working with Max, or he decided to cut a deal with Max after the helicopter crash. And then yeah, he eventually dies. But we'll get there. We'll get there. The ending sequence is pretty good, but everything else sucks. So yeah, and then we meet Max, the villain, and he's so stupid. This is a fictional villain, and you can feel the fictional nature of him. He's not supposed to be supernatural or anything, but he's just so dumb and so overplayed. They try to make him funny with jokes and oh my gosh, he dropped this guy off a building by accident. Oh my gosh, he doesn't like it when his assistants don't do what he wants to do and he kills them. But it's not nothing about it's funny. I'm not being sympathetic to the people he kills, but it's not as funny as I'd like it. And I think that's the main problem with this movie. There's so much violence and disturbing things going on, and they're trying to make it seem funny, and like it's not. It works in some movies. The Suicide Squad that came out this year, it does many disturbing things, but it's funny. Like the part where Peacemaker and Bloodsport kill a bunch of people they think are bad, but they're really good. They play it off in a joking way that makes sense and that lands well. And since it's a good joke, I don't feel that disturbed. But in this movie, it just feels so, I don't know, the tone. It's like disturbing, and they try to play it off as funny. The best thing I compare it to is the Gremlins movie, if you've seen that. And I don't like that movie because the tone is all over the place. But yeah, back to the story or whatever. Then it's revealed, I guess, after some more heists and plots, and I will say there's one really good part, one really good moment that stands out in my head, and it's Chris Evans' character. His name is Jensen. He's like the nerd of the group. He gets attacked by the FBI or whatever because he was hacking into something, and they have guns pointed at him, and he's like, "Be careful, I'll shoot," and he holds his hands like guns, and it's kind of funny and stupid. But the point is, yeah, he ends up like firing his hand or like doing his hand motion, and then this other guy named Cougar, who's an assassin, shoots them, and it looks like he's actually shooting them with his hands. And I think that's just a cool scene, and it's a funny moment. So that actually worked, and I actually remember that. The rest of the plot in the middle of the movie, I don't remember. So that's great. So then, Zoe Saldana's character, I don't even remember her name. It's like Aisha, right? Yeah, Aisha. So yeah, Aisha, played by Zoe Saldana, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, they become a couple over the course of the movie, but then we find out that she was the daughter of the drug lord they killed at the beginning of the movie when they killed the kids by accident. Like in that scene, her dad was involved and they killed him. So she wants revenge the whole time, and apparently that was her goal the whole time. So she shoots Jensen in the arm in another funny scene. Like I will say, Chris Evans' character, Jensen, is the best part of this movie, no doubt. But yeah, so she has a gun pointing at him, and she's pointing towards his, his dick. And he's like, "Please don't point there, anywhere but there." And she points up to his head, and he's like, "That's better." And yeah, that's a funny scene, I will say. So yeah, there's only two scenes really good in the second act of this movie, and they're all with Chris Evans' character. He's easily the best character in this movie. I'm just gonna point that out. Yeah. No other characters really stand out besides him. But yeah, back to what I was saying. We find out it was her dad, and she runs away after shooting Jensen. Jensen's alive, don't worry. Chris Evans' character, he's not gone. So yeah, she leaves, and then they go to this dock sequence, and yeah, they're like, "We're probably gonna die here," and they all get caught. Of course, they get caught. And the villain Max, like, I just hate him so much. He's so lame. So apparently they had stolen in the second act. I just remember what happened. His USB drive with all his money on it or whatever. So he wants the USB drive back. He gets it back, I think. Yeah, he gets it back. And he has his guards or whatever arrest all of the losers. But they never kill any of them. It's just so stupid. Why not shoot them right there on the flight? There's no point in keeping them alive. But like I said, the villain really, really sucks. He's horrible. This is some bad writing for the villain. So yeah, the villain catches them, and yeah, they all escape. Who could have foreseen? And Idris Elba character, this is when a twist happens when he reports them in. I forgot to mention that. So then Idris Elba's character fights Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, and he scratches his eye out. It's kind of gross. But then Jeffrey scratches Idris's eye out in the movie. And then he tries to get away on an airplane, and then this other guy on a motorcycle who's also bad comes. And that guy, I forgot his name, but he's not important. He's just Max's right-hand man. But he's on a motorcycle, and Idris Elba's on the plane, and they both collide into each other. And yeah, I don't like this movie. So yeah, that was kind of a stupid-looking scene. Because then the motorcycle flips over, and then he lands inside the engine, and the plane blows up. And the animation is just bad. The explosion animation is not good. Additionally, the scene is just over the top and stupid. It's silly. So anyways, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, he finally confronts Max, but Max has a switch in his hand, and if he lets go of the switch for 10 seconds, a nuke will go off and destroy the world, something like that, along those generic supervillain lines. So he's threatening to let go of the switch. He lets it go over the dock while Jeffrey Dean Morgan's about to shoot him. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan forgets Max, like the villain, and he jumps into the water. He grabs the switch. He did it. The losers won, and then Max gets away. So yeah, clearly they're setting up a sequel here, which, spoilers, never happened, and possibly for the best. I mean, as you could probably infer right now, I'm not a big fan of this movie, but I do feel like if they made a sequel, they could build off of it. So I'm kind of sad there's no sequel, but I still kind of hate the movie. Yeah, anyway, The movie ends and they're all like happy or whatever. The five remaining characters, the losers, but they're still in this horrible situation, and Max still got away. So that's basically where it ends. That's where the status quo is. And overall, I'd say it's on an entertainment level, it's pretty entertaining. I'll give it a B plus. Cause yeah, like I said, I can't remember anything that happened. This is the day after I've seen it, and like, it's not memorable at all. It's not a good movie, and it's not like it's unmemorable. It's kind of boring. Well, not boring. It's just it doesn't stick with you. But while you're watching it, there's some enjoyment to be had. There is some entertainment. Like I said, Chris Evans' character Jensen is the best part of the movie. All of his jokes, or like most of, okay, a good amount of his jokes stuck in my head. So yeah, it's an entertaining movie. And on a 1 to 10 quality level scale, I'd give it a 6 to a 6.5. It's not a bad movie by any means, but like I said, the characters can really suck. Like, not the main characters, but the villains and the side characters is just dumb. Idris Elba's twist came out of nowhere. The villain Max, he feels like a comic book villain, which I mean it's based on a comic, but he feels like a super villain in this movie about grounded people, and all of his jokes are really stupid. And additionally, the biggest problem with this movie, besides those characters I mentioned, is the tone. The tone of this movie, like I said, it's like trying to be like, imagine Deadpool in the Suicide Squad, but not landing. If the jokes didn't land, if the dark humor didn't land. So yeah, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10 and a B plus. And would I check this movie out if I were you? Yeah, like I said at the beginning, it's on Netflix right now. Go check it out. But I wouldn't go out of my way and pay money to see this movie. Well, thanks for watching. I have a bunch of Metroid videos coming out because the new Metroid game just came out, Metroid Dread. So keep a lookout for that. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below whatever you want, I guess, about this movie. Because I'd like to hear some other opinions. Because not many people I know have seen this movie. And yeah, for good reason. JM Comics out.